A very good evening and welcome to today's live. Today is my 28th day of 75 Hard Challenge. I have been coming live to share the lessons I'm learning through the challenge because one of the tasks of the challenge is to read 10 pages of a non-fiction book, and I have been coming live to share these lessons. And today I'm going to share one very interesting lesson and very powerful lesson which can be life changing for you if you understand it and apply it. I'm going to talk about the invisible hand that shapes your behavior. There is an invisible hand which is shaping your behavior even now, and my behavior also right now. We'll talk about it, and just to just so that you know, if you're coming here seeing me live for the first time, um, why I'm doing this live is to share the lessons I'm learning in the and through reading of the book, which is one of the tasks of 75 hard challenge. If you don't know what is 75 hard challenge, it's a mental toughness challenge which is uh, which has to be carried out for 75 days, and each day you have to perform 5 tasks. Task number 1 is you have to fix your diet and uh, follow the diet for 75 days without any deviation. You have to drink 1 gallon of water daily, which is 3.8 liters, without fail for 75 days. Task number 3 is you have to do 2 workouts in a day. Each workout has to be at least 45 minutes, and one of the workouts must be outdoors. Task number 4 is to read 10 pages of a non-fiction book daily for 75 days. And task number 5 is to take a progress picture every day. These are the 5 tasks, very simple tasks, and I love most of the tasks here. The only challenge here is about giving it time every day. That makes the challenge hard, and 2 workouts in a day. Anyways, I love exercising. I've been in a fitness lifestyle for 8 years now, but still, I have never done 2 workouts in a day and never done workouts continuously without missing a single day. So that's going to be the challenge. And so far, I am in the 28th day of the 75 hard challenge, and I also um, my diet and exercise is with an intention to lose weight and lose body fat. So I'm going to be sharing my progress currently, what progress I'm having uh, when it comes to my fitness goal. Okay, so these are the 5 tasks, and I love each of these tasks because that is the kind of lifestyle I've been leading. I love reading books, and I would say reading books has been the most powerful thing in my life so far, because I am leading a life which is, I would say, which is uncharted waters for me. I've always been, I'm born and brought up in a middle class family. My father is a salaried person. Everyone around me is, most of them, at least the people who I have always been in touch with, has been into salary, has been a salaried person or a middle class family. But I am on a journey of entrepreneurship, journey of building something incredible, uh, following my passion of fitness. I've been a fitness coach for last 5 years, running my own gym for last 5 years, and it requires a lot of learning. And books have been really helpful for me to learn things and to survive this uncharted waters, so to say. Okay, and I learn from other sources also, maybe YouTube, maybe blogs, maybe I have been taking courses, going to workshops, trainings, stuff like that. But reading books has, I would say, been the most powerful impact in my learning. Okay, so since I love reading, this is a great opportunity for me to uh, make that process more effective, because what I'm doing now is I'm reading the book and also coming live and sharing the lessons, which makes it very powerful. The learning becomes faster, and the learning becomes more solid. So currently, I'm reading this book called the Atomic Habits by James Clear. I have listened to this book earlier as an audiobook, and now I am, let's say, doing it for the second time. I'm reading the book physical copy, and I'm also listening it in the audio format. So I'm reading it, I'm listening it, and I'm also teaching it. So this is a very, very powerful book. A lot of practical tips to take action to build a better life, to achieve whatever you want. Okay, I'll share the lesson from this. Before that, I would like to share my progress currently when it comes to my fat loss. See, when I started the 75 hard challenge 4 weeks back, that was on 3rd of June, and today is 30th of June. Today is 28th day of the challenge. I've been following a diet, and I have been following a workout. Um, so I started at 76.6 kg. That was my average weekly weight when I started, and my belly circumference was 92. My main goal here is to lose body fat and expose the muscles I have built in the past few years, so that I can look better, feel better. I'm lighter and I have more energy. This is how I've been doing it ever since I started my fitness journey in 2015. Initially, I lost weight. I was 81 kg, and then I went to 63 kg. Then I gained weight, trying to build muscle, came up to 75, and then went back to 63. In that process, I lost all the progress I did wrong there. And then from that point onwards, again I gained weight. I came up to 77 kg and went down to 66 when I reached the best physique of my life. And from that point, when I used to weigh 66 kg, now I'm 76.6 kg, which took a little over 2 years to gain that kind of weight. And I hope I also build quite a bit of muscle, and uh, I'm looking forward to see how it looks once I lose all my body fat. The aim is to have a six pack look again, which I did 2 years back. So that is the idea. But the last year has been tough for me because I tried to lose fat for, this is the third attempt, I would say. The previous two attempts I failed because I was not in the right mindset. I was struggling with my, what can I say, the mental state. I have been very stressed because of business, things going on in life, and I've also been into a lot of these trainings, attending workshops, a lot of travel. So that is also there. There is kind of overwhelm that comes with that. Uh, so this is the third attempt, and this also have been rocky. I would say this the start has been rocky because the earlier attempts I have done the fat loss and weight loss for last three times. The progress was very fast. I would start losing half kg, 1 kg in a week. I would start losing measurements like 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters in a week, like that. But this was the case last two attempts also. That is why I stopped, and this is the case now also. I started at 76.6 kg and average weight for that week, and this week's average weight is I started at 76.6 kg, and this week's average is 75.6 kg. Sorry, 75.8 kg. I have lost only zero point 0.8 kg of weight, 800 grams in the 4 weeks. Ideally, I used to lose it in 1 week or maybe 2 weeks. So the rate of weight loss is very slow. When it comes to measurements, I went from 92 at the waist to 90. I would say it is still a progress. I'm losing fat, but not at the rate which I expect, not at the rate which motivates me. Because earlier I was eating a little more than what I'm eating now. I'm eating quite a less quantity of food. Earlier attempts, I was when I say earlier, the successful attempts, I was eating slightly more than what I'm eating now, and I was doing only 5 workouts in a day. 5 strength training workouts in a day. Okay. Now, since last 4 weeks, I've been doing 2 workouts in a day continuously without taking a break. That is, from 5 workouts, I have switched to 14 workouts as a part of 75 hard challenge. You have to do 2 workouts in a day, right? So I'm working out every day twice. So the effort is more. I'm putting more effort. I'm spending more energy there, and I'm also eating less food. So that is kind of underwhelming for me. The kind of result I'm getting, and I'm wondering why this is happening. So there are a couple of reasons why someone will not lose even after putting effort. It boils down to one and one thing only. That is, you are not in a calorie deficit, or let's say the calorie deficit is not big enough to see the change. What I mean by this is, whatever calories you're consuming through all the things you're eating, your food, whatever you're drinking, everything combined together, the energy you're getting from everything you're putting in your mouth must be less than what energy you're spending throughout the day. You need energy to stay alive, you need energy to do day-to-day activity, you need energy to do your workouts. So all this combined, and also digest your food. So all this combined, you should eat less than what you're spending. What's happening in my case is, when I started the 75 challenge, um, I have been eating on a, you know, I have been eating less food for a very long time now. So my body is adjusted to, low food intake. Okay. So what I did when I started 75 challenges, I made it, um I kept my healthy food fixed. I removed the quote unquote unhealthy food, which is sweets, fried food items, ice creams, and anything I would eat as a snack or something, chocolates, stuff like that. I made it completely strict, only healthy food items. Anyways, I always eat high protein diet. So that I did. And it did not work out for 3 weeks. So what I did is, from last week, I reduced few more calories there, here and there, maybe around 200 calories I have reduced. And then I've also started incorporating a little bit of running, so that the second workout I have been doing is walking most of the times. So I have started incorporating running a little bit, so that creates a little bit of gap, and because of that I have seen a little more progress this week compared to last week. I've lost about 300 grams in 1 week itself, compared to 500 grams in the 3 weeks. So there is some progress there. So why would someone not lose in spite of putting effort is because the gap is not big enough, and your there is something called as maintenance calories, the number of calories which will keep you at the same weight. That means the energy you're and energy you're eating is almost matching. That is maintenance. But in most cases, the maintenance calorie is not a single number, it is a range. Maybe for me, I'm just taking an example, it is not accurate. It may be somewhere between 2200 calories to 2500 calories, this range of 300 calories. Some days I may be eating 2500 calories, some days I may be eating 2200 calories. For my body, it doesn't make a much difference, it will stay same. Okay. But then when I became consistent from the last 4 weeks, maybe I'm eating at 2100 calories, only 100 calories below the lower range of my maintenance. That will not result in a big change, and our body will somehow make up for that 100 calories uh, by becoming a little more efficient. And especially when you start walking, this cardio kind of activity, your body becomes more efficient with using energy. I'm guessing that is what is happening with me. Okay. So when I created a little more gap, I reduced the 200 calories from my intake from last week. That created a gap of 300 calories. Okay. 300 calories for 7 days is 2100 calories of difference. And I think it lies in the same range of whatever weight I have lost, because 1 kg of weight loss will you need to be in a calorie deficit of around 8,000 calories. So I have lost around 300 grams, which is almost like one third, one fourth of 8,000 calories. So I think it is working in that way. I have created a little more gap, and calorie deficit is there. That is why I'm losing weight from last week. So I'll wait for another week. And okay, to summarize, if you're someone who is trying to lose weight but not losing weight, definitely the reason is that you are not, either you are in the maintenance range in spite of adding activity, in spite of eating less food. And let me tell you, spending energy is not so easy. I may be walking for 45 minutes and it's hardly burning maybe 150 to 200 calories, nothing more than that. Okay. It is not much. It is only equivalent to two chapatis. Or let's say if you eat one pastry cake, you are washing out everything. If you walk for 1 hour, you may be, if your average weight like me, about 70 kgs, 70, 75 kgs, you may be spending 300 calories in 1 hour of walking. And if you eat one piece of pastry cake, it is all gone. It is so easy to overeat, so difficult to burn energy. Okay, that is one thing. You may be in the range of your maintenance calories. Okay, or you may be slightly below your range of maintenance calories, and it doesn't make much of a difference. In order to start losing weight, you should be at least 300 calories, I would say, is a general starting point. 300 calories of deficit. Okay, and for me, what this week is indicating is I have successfully created some calorie deficit. I'll see for next week how how my weight changes, how my measurements change, and based on that, I will have to take a call. I may have to reduce few more calories. Anyways, I've started running. If I start running more and more, it will burn more energy in the same time period. So that is the plan for my next week. Okay. So coming to the lessons of the book Atomic Habits. Okay, today I wanted to share this invisible hand that is shaping your behavior. So in the book, they cite a they cite a study done in a general hospital in Boston, USA, where uh, a physician called Annie Annie Thorndike, she came up with an idea where she said that without talking to anybody, without trying to influence anybody, we can try to change behavior of the hospital staff and the visitors in the hospital, um, how they behave in the cafeteria, what kind of uh, drinks they drink, and what kind of food they eat. And what she did is she designed the layout of the cafeteria such a way that um, be, beside the cash counter there used to be is a refrigerator where they used to store the um, cold drinks like Coke and Pepsi, stuff like that. Americans drink a lot of soda. There used to be these refrigerators with soda beside the cash counter. And what they did is they kept the cold drinks there itself, but they also added option of water, bottled water. And throughout the cafeteria, they put some baskets with the water bottles, more opportunity to get water bottles. Okay, and they realized that the sales of soda went down by 11.4%. The sales of all the cold drinks, Pepsi, Coke, stuff like that, went down by 11.4%. And the sale of water increased by 25.8%, just by creating more opportunity to have water, or just by creating putting water in front of people at more places and more occasions. Okay, so that was enough to conclude. And they also changed the eating habits. There is, it is not specified what changed, but they found out that the eating habits may was also influenced by this. So uh, the conclusion of this study was that how you design your environment will influence how you behave. So the invisible hand which is shaping your behavior is your environment. Okay, I learned this very early in my transformation journey, not through this book, but through different people. Because see, what these books do is they will get the best ideas in the world, and they will compress it and package it into something which is very very useful. And that is why books are very very powerful. There are so many ideas which are just common sense, um, but it is packaged in such a way that you can use it in your day to day life. So that is why I love books. And the authors writing the book, they have years and years of experience. They put it together in a very very accessible and usable form for anybody. Okay, so uh, coming to the topic, I learned this very early on, and it has helped me in my fitness journey. Okay, so there is something called as environment design. How you design your environment will con- will affect how you behave. Okay, let's say you always have junk food, sweets, fried items, baked items, chips, biscuit, stuff like that visible to you all the time. You are more likely to reach out for it and eat it. Even though you may not be hungry, you may reach out to it and eat it. Now tell me, have you ever, without feeling hungry also, if you started eating a, a bag of chips like Lay's, okay? Lay's themselves claim no one can eat just once, okay? You couldn't control yourself or restrict yourself to just one eating one chip. It is almost impossible. They made it so tasty and so palatable and so gratifying that you want to reach out for one more and one more and one more and one more till you finish the whole bag. That is how the food are designed, the packaged food. Okay, and these food items, which are very tasty, are also very high in calorie and generally unhealthy for you if you eat in large quantities. Eating a little, eating in small portions and quantities is fine. It is not a big issue. But your your primitive brain is not capable of having that kind of self control. Okay, so the best thing is to keep it out of your reach, keep it out of your sight. If you replace, let's say, your kitchen counter is full of these unhealthy stuff, junk foods, you are most likely to end up with, gaining weight and becoming fat and becoming unhealthy in the long run. Let's say you replace it with something which is very healthy. If you have a big fruit bowl on your counter which has all the fresh fruits already washed and ready to eat, let's say apples, grapes, banana, whatever, if you have it on the counter, then you are more likely to reach out for an apple every time you feel hungry or have this urge to eat. You will reach out for that, and that becomes a habit and a cue. Okay, so that is the invisible hand that is shaping your behavior. Okay, so using the same idea, James Clear, the author of the book, proposes that you have to design your environment in such a way that um, it is conduct you to the habits which you want to, uh, which you need, and which you want to follow for your success. Okay, and sometimes the environment is not a physical space. uh, there is always, you build some relationship with your environment. Let's say this is my working desk. I have a certain relationship with this desk, and if I keep doing all the stuff on the desk, if I keep scrolling social media sitting here on the desk, if I you know um let's say if I do the work also here, if I do the reading also here, if I do everything here in the same place, then there is mixed cues. Okay, and as it is, our brain wants to spend least amount of energy scrolling social media is the least amount of energy I can spend to feel very good. It gives the dopamine high. Okay, but doing the work is difficult. That is where I have to put effort. And whenever there is some difficult thing to do, I'll more likely switch to scrolling social media, which is easy to do. So in this space, if I'm doing all the stuff, I'll always end up doing the easy stuff all the time. Okay, so what James Clear proposes is to create an environment such a way that you have to do you have to have one space for one thing. Let's say this is my work desk. I purely use it only for work, and I use my couch to my sofa or couch to scroll the social media or watch TV. Use my kitchen only to eat. Use my bed only to sleep. Okay, so that is one way you can control your environment. And uh, if you want to concentrate, keep this away from you. Keep the phone away from you. It will be less distracting. Okay, if you want to drink more water, keep a bottle of water in front of you, so that every time you see it, you are reminded that you have to drink water. And that is how I have been able to drink water. Okay, and this is also gives me a cue how much is left, and to complete my today's quota of drinking water. And it makes me aware every time I see it in front of me. Okay, so that is how you can design your environment. And there is also this um, you can also use this to avoid bad habits. Okay, so in the next chapter he talks about how your uh, about self control. He talks about self control. Here is where he talks about a specific study done on the uh, people stationed in Vietnam War in the US. So it was found that about 15% of the people in service in Vietnam were addicted to cocaine. And there was a committee set up, and there was a study group set up to come up with a solution to this. And they found out that the um, the army personnel who were at Vietnam, who were addicted to cocaine, it was freely available, and it was a stressful situation, and a lot of people around them were was doing it. There was a lot of cues to go and get a shot of cocaine. Okay, get a hit of cocaine. But then when these people returned to US, the army people, 90% of them, only 5% of them um, got re-addicted in first 1 year, and only 12% of them got relapsed in 3 years. So 90% of them completely switched overnight. They stopped being cocaine addicts, which is a very highly addictive stuff, right? We already know this. Okay, so it was completely depend on the environment. There were more cues for those people to get a hit of cocaine when they were in Vietnam, because it was stressful. They had they had free access to it. There were they had these colleagues and friends who were doing it all the time. But when they came to US, the chances of that was reduced. The cues were reduced. Okay, and the regular drug addicts, like the civilian drug addicts, they do it at their home. They do it with their friends, which they do it on a daily basis. There are always cues. They are prompting them to do that. Okay, so the solution to this is to you know reduce exposure to the cues. Okay, you may be into a habit of drinking and smoking with your friends. If you stop meeting the friends in that location, then you are most likely to reduce it. You may meet your friend in a place which where you not generally meet, or have drinks and smoke. Okay, so removing the cues is much more effective and a long term strategy, comparing to self control. You can control yourself. Self control can be employed, but it takes a lot of your energy and willpower, which is limited, and eventually will give in to the craving. Okay, the solution here is to get rid of the cravings itself, reduce exposure to the cravings. Okay, that was the end of the first rule, which is make it obvious. Okay, if you have to make it obvious by employing different strategies, and I'll just quickly go through the strategies here so that it's the end of it marks the end of law one. Okay, so one is implementation intention, where you say I will do this new behavior at the time and the place. If you just define what time you do a certain new habit and what place you do the certain new habit, if you write it down, if you have more clarity, then you're more likely to do it. And then the second strategy is habit stacking, where you can start a new habit right after completing a existing habit. Okay, let's say example of is, let's say you want to start a gratitude practice. You can do it when I'm brushing the teeth. I will, thank God for three things. I'll feel grateful for three things every day, or just after the brush. That could be the thing. If you want to start meditating, you could say I will start meditating immediately after have my coffee or tea in the morning. That is called as habit stacking. Okay, and another thing is design your environment so that your cues are always visible. Okay, I took an example of using a bottle of water to remind you to drink water. That is the cue you can use. Okay, design your environment so that you are more likely to, let's say you want to drink more water, put water bottles on your work desk, on your you know near your couch, on your kitchen counter, beside the the bedroom, everywhere you can put one bottle, and you are more likely to drink more water. Okay, the last thing is to avoid exposure to the cues. Change your environment in such a way that uh, you don't repeat the same habit. There are certain environments where you tend to repeat the bad habits again and again. Avoid those kind of environments, and try to change your environment. Try to expose yourself less to the cues. It could be like exposure to junk food. Don't have junk food, chips, baked items, biscuits, all that unhealthy stuff at your home. Don't buy it. Don't keep it in front of you, so that you avoid it. Okay, and in the long run, your design, if you start designing your environment, start engineer your environment in such a way that it is more conductive towards your goals, which will help you to adopt new habits, good habits, and which will help you to let go of bad habits which you don't want in your life. That way you can be more successful with whatever kind of habit you want to build, and whatever kind of habit you want to get rid of. That is the main essence of the book, to build good habits and break the bad ones. Okay, so this was kind of a long live today, because I shared the lessons from the book and also shared my progress. And yeah, that was the end of today's live. This is what I wanted to share. And if you're joined live, thank you so much for joining this live. I'm really honored that you're spending your time with me. And if you're seeing this as a replay, then thank you so much. If you made it till this point, it's almost more than half an hour, and I'm sure you found value. That is why you are here. Let me know in the comments if this has been helpful to you. I'll be happy to listen from you, and look out for the new live every day. Almost every day. I did not come live yesterday. Uh, I'll be back with a new live with new stories from the book. Thank you so much for joining this live, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.